Good evening, Ravani sir, and thank you so very much for sparing time with me this evening. Thank you, sir.
Good evening. Good evening. It is my pleasure. You had given time and you had chosen me to be also part of interview. So I am also having my pleasure for it. Thank you.
It is privilege for us, sir. Rather, sir, how have you passed your lockdown days?
I think so far as one is not sick or not suffer corona,
Yes.
it is in fact not a epidemic, but it is a pleasure time. Uh, this is a unique vacation, I tell you, because this is time where there is nothing to travel, not to go to hotel, not to go to club, theater, anywhere.
Right.
So there is a unique experience where normally it is quite different than the normal vacation.
Right.
This time also I had tickets to go to USA on 11th of May.
Mm-hmm.
Now that traveling schedule is obviously cancelled. No, it is not possible to go anywhere. Now, so far as my regular routine was to go to Karnavati Club for walk every day. Now that has gone. But so far as I am staying I am staying outskirt of Ahmedabad city. It is slightly outskirt behind Karnavati Club, where there are only 7 houses
Oh.
surrounding me.
Mm-hmm.
So I go outside for walk for 2 kilometer frontage is there.
Mm-hmm.
So every day I go for nearly 6 kilometer jogging in morning. That way, I think this is a Mahotsav rather than an epidemic, pandemic. And then I had got opportunity to read many books which I could not spare time to read. I did not read books which were relating to law, but these were different books than the other means law. So it was more enjoyable.
Right.
That time I could not get during our working days and even previous vacations also. Either we used to go to travel or something like during vacation also. Once we are there, we go to office and court and other things. So to spare time to read extra, something different than the regular routine was quite difficult. So that I enjoyed.
Right, sir. Sir, I have always seen you working hard in the court, much involved in the legal subjects. So, what are that other subject which has fascinated you more to read?
This time I read uh, there, there is author namely Yuval Noah Harari.
Mm-hmm.
Harari is a professor of Hebrew University.
Mm-hmm.
He has written number of books, but there are two very famous books written by him. One is Homo sapien, Brief History of Humankind,
Mm-hmm.
and second book is Homo sapien, Homo Deus.
Mm-hmm.
So first book was on the aspect that after human being becomes separate from animal, how did it further progress and what are the stage of revolution?
Mm-hmm.
He talks about it in that book. That book I had read it previously, but I got chance in this vacation to read Homo Deus.
Mm-hmm.
Homo sapien was on aspect that it is human being become different than the animal for the reason that animal talks about the subjective reality, what is there in the world, like raising of water level, and then there is means something is there like lion is coming, then there is screaming by animals, they go upside, monkey goes upside. But the human being talk about imagined reality.
Mm-hmm.
Word itself is contradictory, but we have developed so many of imagined reality like money, rupees, dollar, bank, school, college, country. If someone comes from alien world, they would not be able to recognize what is country. Then it is difficult to understand for them.
Mm-hmm.
What is bank? What is rupee? What is dollar? These are all imagined reality. Human being created it, worked on it, and then this world is differently created.
Mm.
So it's story about cognitive revolution, first book.
Right.
Second book is more interesting. It talks about what will be future of humankind.
Mm-hmm.
That talks that future of humankind would be that there would be two challenge of human being. First is of nuclear bomb, and second will be of biochemical weapon.
Mm-hmm.
And that what he has predicted is proved very immediately. We are suffering of a biochemical weapon, coronavirus.
Right.
And he has further talked that future will be that there will be control of data process, compressed data process on human being. They will control the world. Artificial intelligence will come, and there will be difficulty what to study because selection of study will be difficult. Everything would be available in machine, language and mathematics and everything.
True.
So these are means so books which were interesting books. I got opportunity to finish second part, that is Homodeus, and I had recommended many of the friends to read it. And simultaneously, I got chance to read two other books also. One was written by one Naresh Chandra Saxena, an IAS officer, about the IAS system in India. What are failures? What are reason of failure? What can be the improvement about it? He has written. What is ailing of IAS system? That is his book. It was also interesting book. And now I am reading uh, Jawaharlal Nehru's book in Gujarati, Maru Hindnu Darshan, that
Mm-hmm.
is Discovery of India.
Sorry.
So this is a pleasant time to read,
Right.
and it is enjoyable. I think this will help in legal practice also because you think multiple way about each matter.
Right.
So for lawyers also, extra reading improves their thinking process. Interpretation of law also can be done better way.
Right, sir. So when was this Homodeus book published? Because it is
It was
depicting present situation so very well. Just a curiosity.
no, it is 2017-18
Right.
publication.
Right.
Yeah, because author writes everything about what he has written in 2016-17 situation.
Right.
And in market, it was in India, it was available in 2018 beginning.
Right, sir.
Mm.
So Ravani sir, coming back to your life journey, if you can share us how Ravani sir was as a child.
That question is put to perhaps wrong person. Perhaps my parents can tell me. Uh, as
No one.
young man, my wife can certify me, but or my friends can certify me was I a good friend or means not. What was my character?
No, sir,
But
not as a character, but as by yourself, how were you? What were your feeling when you were a child?
uh,
And
uh,
what you carry along from your childhood till today?
uh, I did my schooling at different places. Initially, I was at Gandhinagar when my father was minister. I did schooling first, second standard at Gandhinagar, then Bhavnagar 1 year, then 2 year again at Ahmedabad, fourth, fifth standard. Then I had been to Savarkundla, my native place. I did my higher secondary from Savarkundla, and then again college I did from St. Xavier's,
Hmm.
BA Arts I did, and then LSA was the last place of study.
Mm-hmm.
But life of my town, Savarkundla, was one of the best time of life, I think. There you get true friends and real experience of life because so far as schools of Ahmedabad are concerned, I studied fourth, fifth standard there. I did college also from here. But then there are balkanized different classes or different, I mean, classes of society are having different schools and college. Like
Right.
if you go to certain school, you will get children from aristocrat families. If you go to other college, then there would be particular community, particular type of students. third college you will get different class. So school and college are different classes.
True.
It is not combined thing, or the mixture is not there.
Right.
So far as town places are concerned, there were two only schools, high schools. You can choose X or Y, but there will be always you find combination of students. One might be one of the lowest strata, uh, one might be the from highest strata of the town.
Right.
So you get all type of classmates. So you know better about life about it.
Right.
One of my classmates who is doctor practicing at Doraji now is MD doctor.
Hmm.
He is from South Kundla.
Hmm.
His father was having cycle shop or repairing of cycle shop.
Hmm.
Then other friend was there whose father was teacher in our school only, who was now a doctor practicing there only South Kundla. Third friend who is a rich guy,
Hmm.
oil miller's son, he is now practicing dentist at Ahmedabad. So it was a combination of friends, rich, poor, all were studying together, and even then, ultimately, friends are friends.
True.
And in town area, friendship of childhood maintains remains because
Right.
they are connected with each other,
So
family wise, from generation wise, other way. Here, many of the friends who have separated during their college time, they many times never meet again in their life.
right.
So that was different life, and I enjoyed town life more. And there also I had the concept to be slightly to do some social work. That concept I developed from college time. So I always feel to connect myself with some NGO or political party for purpose of social gathering, social service, other things.
Yeah. Right. Was becoming a lawyer was always your passion?
Ha, yes, it was really a path of choice because this give an opportunity to work for people. You can have your independence. No doubt, there are limitation of earning. Businessmen are having more opportunities to earn, but simultaneously, businessmen are having very limited opportunity to help people or to oblige people. What doctor or advocate can do, they can't do. They will not be able to do it. So it is a different path. Ultimately, whatever you earn, there cannot be a limit. So after becoming a businessman, always you feel that you need to do something more and more and more.
Right.
Profession also, we like to do more work, but there are job satisfactions which we can enjoy. So it is a path of selection, liking, and no regret. If life is reversed back and gives same opportunity again to select the path, I may select the same path.
Right, sir. Sir, which law college you have graduated from?
I did from LSR Law College, and it was a good college. Enjoyed it, and in those days there were no 5 year course, so there were good professors. I had an opportunity to attend lectures of Shri B.C. Patel Sahib, who our former judge
Yes.
of our High Court. Then K.M. Mehta Sahib, our former High Court judge. Then Mehul Bhai, Mehul Suresh Shah,
Yes.
our senior counsel, was our lecturer.
Hmm.
Then Kamal Bhai Trivedi, then Honorable Justice, Honorable Justice, Supreme Court Judge, retired Judge Anil Bhai. Uh, uh, E.R. Dave Sahib was our lecturer. So there were excellent lecturers and good opportunity to learn from them. They used to give good lectures. No doubt it is something like how much you want to adopt, because so far as law college is there, presents are not that much of compulsory.
Right.
So, but it was enjoyable, good learning process.
Right. So was legal education system different in your times than what is imparted in the present time?
Yes, definitely. I think present system is quite better. There were number of law uh, at relevant time also, which we had only seen after coming to field. Like
Right.
there were no land laws. Now land laws are included. Then intellectual property law was also limited. There was no such subject.
Hmm.
Then labor and industrial law was optional. Either you can taxation or industrial and labor law.
Hmm.
So either one will learn industrial and labor law or taxation.
Right.
So that either thing could be learned. Now those all subjects are included in 5 year course. That time even moot courts were also limited. Rarely moot courts were arranged once in a year, or many times, even not every year it was arranged. And then it was a single college practically. So
Right.
there were no such competition also. So it was means quite different than present time. Present time law is studied seriously, and like chartered accountant, for many students who pass from 5 year courses, they get good opportunity in corporate sector also. So people are more encouraged to study law because it is a good now option.
Right. So there are two theories. One is that at present education system has included various subjects into the syllabus, and thereby they could not able to concentrate on the basic subjects like CPC, CRPC, evidence, contract, constitution, etc. And another theory is that including various subjects would give them exposure to the various other fields. So, which of this theory would you support, sir?
No, I will believe that they must teach all the subjects which are basically required to be known to lawyers when they pass out. Therefore, all subjects should be taught. If they feel that basic subjects are not studied properly, and some more time can be devoted to it,
Right.
because a doctor who pass out MBBS is not expected again to learn for 5 years after passing MBBS. Uh, he will be allowed to practice, and normally they are able to at least conduct or start diagnosing and treating the patients. That way, in other field like from from engineers, chartered accountant, expectancy is that they know basic law, basic basic facts, or the basic knowledge of that field. So from lawyers also expectation from junior lawyer, there is expectation of clients that at least they know basic thing. Now, if they have not studied in the college basic aspect, how can they render service? And in previous days, juniorship was quite longer.
Right.
At the age of 23, they used to pass out. We used to pass out. Then at least 5 years you have to learn something new. Instead of that, at least when they studied law, basic all law should have been covered, and it can be done because previously college timing were 2.5 hours. Now they teach for 7 to 8 hours and 5 years, so there is sufficient time, and everything can be covered. I think present system is better. They have to teach all subjects, and basic law they have to devote more time. That's all right, but system is better. This system is better.
Right, sir. So, still, however, any changes that you propose to be made in the present legal education system?
Yes, presently also system is such, more students gets admission in law than the required number. Then Many of the students do not get sufficient opportunity to join good offices because learning of law basically depends on how much opportunity you get to join a good office. Second, the options like the corporates needs lawyers, law officers, government or department also needs government officers. So present system of higher course is having different system. First 2 years they teach even other graduate subjects
Hmm.
like BA with LLB or BCom with LLB or BSc with LLB. Now many of the subjects are not related with law.
Right.
So instead of that, they have to give branches, different branches from beginning, like corporate law from third year, uh, then other branches like engineering is concerned.
Hmm.
All students study common subjects in first year, but then from second year, chemical engineer and software engineer and mechanical engineer would have different study to do accordingly. That way, our law course should be separated. Those who want to study taxation, they will have different branch. Those who want to study civil and criminal will have different branch. Those who want to go to corporate job,
Hmm.
they will have different study. So more intact about specialized subject would be there, and that can be more helpful. That
Right.
is my impression.
So when have you started attending courts? Was it during your college days or after you graduated?
About law.
Yes, sir. Courts.
No, law I did after passing BA. That
No, no.
was
My question is, sir, when you started attending courts.
courts. Yes, I started attending courts from second year of my law college. I used to go with one Mr. J.D. Ajmera, who was standing counsel of central government at 11 times. Second year I had been there, and then third year I had joined trial court. In 89 onwards, I had been to trial court,
Mhm.
and up to 94 I practiced at City Civil Court Ahmedabad.
Mhm.
Then after 4 years, I started my practice at High Court.
So, what do you advise to students who will be now joining the profession? Should they start their career from trial courts, or if they could start their career from High Court or Supreme Court, if they at all are willing to?
No, I will always advise them to go to trial court. At least after 25 years of practice, I have seen many of the advocates, they don't know how to cross-examine, how to prepare for the cross-examination. And that art, if one doesn't learn at the beginning of it,
Yeah.
it never comes throughout their life. All right, one may not know how to cross-examine, but they must at least know that from record of first appeal or criminal appeal, what is important part in the particular cross-examination, which will be helpful to their clients or it will go against their client.
Right.
So for learning that process, it is something like that without going to school, you go to college. It is not useful. One may like to grow speedier, but step by step only one can go. So at least the experience of trial court would be worth. I had been to trial court, and my belief is that it is quite advantageous.
Yeah. So, with whom have you started your practice in the High Court?
Uh, I when I was student, I had been with Mr. J.D. Ajmera for
Agree.
1 year. Then trial court, I was with one N.R. Patel sir,
Mhm.
Naranbhai Patel, who was City Civil Court advocate, and he's having good experience. At High Court, I did not join any office. I did myself from there.
Right, sir. So, what are the striking qualities of your senior Naran Bhai or JD Ajmera Sahib which you carry along till now?
Uh, Both of them were having mental coolness. Uh, at trial court also, my senior had a board of 50 matters at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But even then in morning also he would be relaxed.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a quality
Right.
which requires to develop by most of the advocates,
Mm.
because if you do it coolly, calmly, you can give better quality.
Right.
And basically, many of the advocates I have seen that they are under a lot of tension. If
Mm-hmm.
client inquires something, they insult the client. They
Mm.
don't want to insult the client, but they are under so much pressure and tension.
Right.
Unintentionally, they scold their juniors,
Mm.
insult clients, uh, and abuse their subordinate staffs. And many times they quarrel with judges
Right.
because of this aspect. So that is because they are not doing it intentionally, but because of the pressure, because of nature, it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, basically, it does not give any advantageous situation. It ultimately affects your health also.
Right.
So, learning process, what I learned, one of the best thing from my senior was that he had never become angry, even on foolish question of juniors. Many times, foolish query from the clients, and he may avoid answering, but may not scold us. And even if they want to tell something, they will advise that this is not the way to ask, or this was not the relevant thing. So I learned that aspect. It, why should we insult someone? Why should we derogate someone? And why should we go take tension? Because lawyer role is limited to argue the matter. It's not the means job of the lawyer to get particular result.
Right.
So ultimately, it is not in our hand to get the result. It is to do hard work is our hand. That's the only role of the lawyer.
Right, sir. Sir, when have you appeared on your legs for the first time independently, and were you nervous?
Uh, I'd come from City Civil Court to argue a small matter of bail.
Mhm.
In 92, I must thank to one of my friend Yogesh Thakkar,
Ah,
who had helped me in preparing draft matter of that bail application. I had an opportunity to appear before Justice Bhairav. He was there in charge of bail matter, and court granted me bail.
mhm.
But the ultimately it was first experience, difficult to argue many times, and the question was not how much you are earning. It was question of putting the matter uh, properly to before the court,
Yeah.
and therefore the you are always anxious
Right.
slightly.
Right.
What would be the query of court?
Right.
What would be the response? What would be thought by clients? Many things would be
Right.
there. It was an interesting issue, but I believe that as early as possible, appearance starts, it would be better. Uh, Ultimately, it is our job, and job starts early. That is better.
Right. Right. Sir, any specific matter that you can say has transformed your attitude in the legal profession?
Not that way, but appearing for authority is a quite different experience than to appear for private side. Like you appear for authorities, many times you have insights of the story different way.
Mm.
So that was different experience to, because those advocates who are having only practice of private advocates, they will have different view. Only practice of authorities, they will have different view. But those who are practicing both sides, private clients as well as for authorities, they will have better insights of many things.
Right.
So other way, exactly, But I believe that I had an enjoyment to appear for the authorities, more particularly CBI.
Mm-hmm.
There I had enjoyed uh, because, in fact, there were a number of challenging matters at relevant time I had handled uh, of criminal side. Initially, I was practicing more on the civil side only.
Right.
It was getting opportunity to appear in slightly contested and complicated criminal side matters because economic offense were there, uh, which were to be tried or which were to be argued, and many other branches of law were covered of criminal side, which are normally do not come in our practice, like Foreign Exchange Act or
Right.
FEMA Act and our Parmala Act and many other laws gets covered. So it was enjoyable. And then I got opportunity to appear in indirect tax matters. That was also wonderful experience.
Right, sir.
I do, yes, I must tell. Uh, if I get opportunity to appear for slum dwellers or matters of vendors,
Right.
I try to see that I may not charge, and I try to, or if there are number of matters where court fee increases, then I take only expense from them
Right.
and not charge them because that is the opportunity where I get chance to see that someone do not lose house or their job, some business, because I am not able to give employment. At least I can save some vendors.
Right,
That
sir.
is the only.
Great legal aid, sir. Sir, what are different milestones in you can say it to be in your legal career? Milestones.
That I think other can consider, but I think uh, I'd enjoyed profession, except that I work for all the branch, means all type of works
Right.
except direct tax, uh, and enjoyed. That's the only I can tell.
Right, sir.
Uh,
Sir, whom do
it
you
is. I must tell that it has not gone with different sweep. Like many advocates are having certain different swings, like
right,
they practice at taluka level and or then they go to district level and then high court or like you have from high court to supreme court you have gone, so it is a different journey at
true,
different field.
true,
Then means to practice at district place your practice become limited to a particular district, then you come to high court, then you see entire state. That when you go to supreme court you see the entire nation.
true.
Someone comes from Tamil Nadu, someone comes from Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Rajasthan. So
True.
that is different thing,
Right,
changing of field.
right. Sir, whom do you consider your ideal or mentor in the legal profession?
So far as Gujarat High Court is concerned, there are number of good people, but one of the person to whom I will like to follow, I don't claim that I am able to fully follow,
Right.
but some of the virtues, Rubai Mehta was there. Uh, but difficult to do it because uh, someone tells that it is life of Gandhiji was quite good, but we can't follow it.
True.
It is difficult to
Possible.
be truth lover for a complete day also. When you tell your wife start scolding you, you'll have to tell some lie that friend was there, therefore I am late at office and this or that. So it is difficult to live life like Arubai
True. Great.
completely. It is difficult to live, but I had opportunity to work with him for many matters. He
Mm-hmm.
had given me opportunity. So frequently I had to go to his office. And later on, I was in contact with Girish Bhai Patel also.
Right.
He was also reformist.
Very true.
MC Bhatt Sahib is also there.
Very true.
So they are people who are working for some downtrodden people,
Right.
and some ideologies which was with some intention to do service to society through legal profession, work for laborers, workers, apartment dwellers, poor. This was ideology, and therefore Rubai Mehta is difficult target for me to reach to that level. But he, I tell that one thing that his angry nature, I was believing that it was disadvantage of his personality, but there were number of things of getting work done by that angry nature also. So I will have throughout my life his memory, and I will like to follow many things from him.
Sir, any anecdotes of Harubhai if you can share with us? Because Harubhai Mehta is we I have very less opportunity to be with him, but heard lot many things about him. If you can share some anecdotes about Harubhai, it would be great.
I had gone to his office to engage him for one matter where our other side, see, SB Vakil was appearing. We were to appear uh, in that matter for the other side. I mean, uh, now issue was about a law. The matter was arising from civil court only, but then it was one of the issue was about ownership of flat act also.
Hmm.
So at 7:30 he had called me at office. Then he started matter from the not by reading the papers. He had asked that which law is involved in ownership of flat act. Then first he had called for the ownership of flat act from beginning. Then gazette, that when did that law is passed, what was date, what is discussion thereof, and therefore beginning of the matter started from the issue about enactment of law, what is discussion thereof, and what are the effect of each section. It is a small act,
Right.
but beginning does not start from the
That is
order of the trial court, but
right.
it starts from the law,
Correct.
and not from the law directly, but origin of the law. So
Okay.
3 hours we spare only for studying ownership of flat act. Then the means papers were opened for reading the order of the trial court and everything. So this was the means way in which he was working to go to the root of the matter. Only thing was that if he used to call me in evening, it was he was having special love for me. So he used to tell that when you are appearing in this darbar, you will have to come with Najrana. And Najrana was Dalgada.
Right.
So in evening, I will have to go to, I means I was required to go with Dalgada. And secondly, he had a love for ice cream. So if matter discussion ends after 10:30, 11 o'clock, then session would end with ice cream. But quality was that to go to the means root of the matter. Then he would not fix fee. What we pay would be accepted, and if it is matter of poor, he would not charge. But second experience, we were appearing for a lawyer from Riyadh.
Mhm.
So normally our habit is of not charging of lawyers
Correct.
for the reason that they never normally brief us later on.
Right.
And as a professional colleague, we don't charge.
True.
But he had charged that Nodiad advocate,
Mhm.
telling that these are not poor people, and they have not come for some charity work. They have engaged us for earning more money, So I will not do it free of charge.
right,
I will do it for some poor person.
right,
So he had no such inclination that this person would brief me in
correct,
future. So let me not charge him.
correct,
And then any slum dwellers comes, he would be charged like
correct,
that. So he had a quality of it,
right,
and these are quality about uh, means preparation in matter, but preparation of matter was also thoroughly, and for poor people all know that he used to do lot of work,
right, sir,
and that was one of the best quality was that he used to tell judges what is wrong going on.
correct,
Now our present trend is to uh, develop our practice by not telling the judge even correct facts, correct things like something judge is not on correct path. Like judge, there was very known fact. One judge of our High Court used to come late after recess. Uh, so he had told Permanent Judge, our High Court judge, that official time of court is 2:30, and you can't come at 3 o'clock. Waiting all the advocates here, those who want to mention. If you want to come 3 o'clock, then let us there be notice,
right,
and that court would come at 3 o'clock. So
right,
this could be done by only
true,
Harubai.
true,
And that could be done by the person who has no love for money,
very,
because that would compel him to sacrifice many things.
very,
First thing is to lose opportunity to get discretionary order.
right,
So because there are all likelihood that judge may develop some negative feeling for particular advocate who may be telling truth, but bitter truth.
true,
So he used to tell even bitter truth.
very true. I've seen sir poor and downtrodden waiting for him since morning, and he used to
Hmm.
tell each and every one of them. Great human being, great personality, and truly a great lawyer. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you for remembering him. So, whom do you like to attribute your success to? What it could be your juniors, it could be your clients, it could be your family. Whatever success you have achieved by now, whom you like to attribute it?
It is always clients, those who trust us and come to us. That is the only first criteria to be successful.
Very true.
Uh, because people do not trust you, you can never be successful.
Mm.
Uh, I have seen many people in many field, they are quite worthy.
Yeah,
Destiny might not have supported them.
right,
They might be lagging behind than the persons who are less capable than them. It is clients who come to us, trust us. That is the only criteria of success.
right,
And they ultimately, juniors also get joined to you, provided you are having work.
right,
And the other clients also get attracted if someone tells good thing about us.
right.
So I believe that clients are customers, and customers are good, as Gandhiji tells.
True.
Therefore, success comes through them only.
Right. So, what methodology do you adopt to prepare for a matter?
Uh, I always prepared from long time list of dates and events.
Mm,
Even now, it is compulsory to have it
mm,
in writ petition.
right,
But Supreme Court, you have to always give events.
mm,
But in High Court, many matters like criminal appeal or civil appeal or many other proceedings, events are not required to be given.
right,
So once the event are prepared, there are a lot of clarity.
mm,
So first I prepare events or get it prepared through my colleagues. Once there is a chronology, many facts gets clear about it.
Right.
So law comes later on first, clarity of facts, and then to search law on that aspect. Because law gets molded with each facts. Like if we go to search citation first, we get confused because citations are also based on the particular facts.
Right.
Like simple example, bank guarantee. Then you get a decision that bank guarantee cannot be stayed except fraud and misrepresentation. Now, this is settled law that court will not interfere if there is no fraud or misrepresentation. So we go to the facts, find out it. If there is a fraud, then it is to be argued. So simply law will remain stagnant. Facts wise it will differ. So I prepare facts first.
Right. Sir, have you ever had instances where you will find that there is no merits in the matter? And how do you
Hmm.
deal with such situation?
No, no, I will always tell clients whatever is there
Mhm.
that there are less chance or we may take chance only or there are no chance of succeeding in matter. But I believe that each matter there are always some scope of arguing matter. Each matter.
Right.
It can't be matter. There cannot be matter when there cannot be scope of argument. There are always scope argument. Like first case of murder, uh, broad daylight murder, number of eyewitnesses at least, and you can have argument about quantum of the punishment, the circumstances by which incident has occurred. Something would be there always in matter. You
True.
have to see from different angle. Then what are the limited scope available to argue?
Right, sir. Sir, what changes do you foresee in the legal profession post-lockdown period?
Huh, that is, I'm not sure. Like many people tell that it would be now permanently number of things would go online, filing and argument and other things.
Right.
Now, so far as profession, our profession is concerned, from last at least from 200 years, from British time also,
Mm.
the system is same like filing of petition in court,
Mm.
which is petition, suit, or application, whatever
Right.
that is in application. Copies to be given to other side papers. Our honorable judges are also in habit of reading the paper, marking it, making notes thereof.
Right.
Uh, like many of the judges in many of the branch, judges will get 100 and 150 200 matters at their
Right.
home at night, and they at least go through certain important order part or prayer portion or other thing with 100 200 matters also.
Right.
Now if it goes online, it is doubtful whether the judges may feel comfortable to go so speedily to
Right.
go through such matters. Same way, many of the advocates like AGP, APP get 50 to 100 matters at a night to see, and even they get ready throughout, means during that time about those matters. Private side also 15 20 matters advocates are having on board next day. They
Right.
read papers, mark it, if not available. So to get prepared online by our generation advocates and judges, I feel it will be difficult. So original system will continue for slightly longer time. Filing is concerned, it may be possible that filing may go online.
Right.
There are possibilities. So advocates and the clerks may get equipped for filing through online.
Right.
Some change would be there, but they still, I believe that physical file and paper system would not immediately go because we are not ready for that purpose system
Right.
to get prepared online. So filing may be different thing, but ultimately physical copy would be there.
Right.
And situation we observe would be normal. Again, we would be appearing before the courts and appearing in normal way,
Right.
with eye-to-eye contact to appear before honorable judges, facing our opponent lawyers also.
Right.
So that would be possibilities.
Right.
And next generation may change style of functioning and may go online, but convincing argument can be always by having eye-to-eye contact, and try means best attempt can be done by face-to-face argument only.
Right. Thank you so very much, Ravani sir. It would be
It
great.
was my pleasure.
It would be helpful for us to learn much into the legal profession. Thank you so very much, sir, for this
It was
interview.
my pleasure also.